Welcome back guys to Voicey here and another r/EntitledParents. Don't forget Voicey veterans to like, subscribe and hit that bell to never miss an episode. This story was called Girlfriend's Mum Wants Her to Pay for a $1,000 Ticket to Visit Them for Christmas. She can't, so that means she's worthless. Me and my girlfriend have been together over a year and a half. I'm happy as can be with her, and she tells me constantly about how I feel like her only family. I never understood until this Christmas, when I first heard of her mother. She never mentioned her mother before, but talks about her father a lot, who sadly passed away several years ago. Ever since, her life has been thrown upside down thanks to her mother basically wanting nothing to do with her. She even moved to be in her hometown in South Korea, when girlfriend was only around 16. She's been raised by her aunt ever since, but just before I met her, her aunt, uncle and cousins had basically abandoned her as well and moved in with her sister, girlfriend's mum, in South Korea. So I can totally understand why she feels like she's worthless to her only remaining family, after they all basically left her to be alone in America while they go and live their lives in Asia. Around Christmas, she had gotten a call from her mum. They missed her and wanted to spend the holidays with her. Girlfriend is overjoyed and all, but there was a catch. Entitled mum refused to fly out to America to be with her only daughter, and expected her to buy a $1,000 ticket to come to Asia. Girlfriend was all for it, but because she wasn't getting a lot of business, she's a beautician, she didn't even have half of that. She begged her mum, her aunt and anybody else in her family to help her get the money for the plane ticket, but nobody would help her, even a small amount. I wrote her a check. I wanted to give her $500, which would give her what she needed. She cried but gave it back to me, telling me it's nothing I need to worry about. So she calls her mum to tell her the bad news. The conversation was in Korean, so she had to translate it for me. "I'm sorry mum, I can't come to Christmas."
"Why not?"
"I tried, I really did, but I just don't have enough money for a plane ticket."
"But it's Christmas. We're your family. You didn't even try at all, did you?"
"But, Mom,
Don't try to excuse yourself. You're still a lazy bee."
EM hung up and girlfriend broke down in tears. She wouldn't get out of her room for hours. All she did was cry in bed, trying to talk to her mum. Eventually, the crying stopped and she let me in the room. She wouldn't say anything. She just showed me a picture on her phone. It was a text from her mum. I had to ask what it says, and she says in a heartbroken tone, says I'm not her daughter anymore. My blood boiled. I couldn't even say anything. She was basically disowned by her own mother, just because she couldn't go to Asia on her own budget. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do for her. This was a few days ago around Christmas Eve, and she's still upset about it. Her mum, her aunt, nobody else in her family will text her back, and nothing I do will cheer her up. I've taken her out to several places, and she claims she has fun, but I can still see she's really sad, even lost without her mum. So, it's time I be her man and text her mum. I grab my phone, get her mum's contact info from her phone, and use an English to Korean translator. I wrote out basically how I felt about this woman, that I've never met, and it went something like this. "You really don't know what you've done to your own daughter. You don't have any idea how much you've hurt her. If you really wanted to see her for the holiday, the least you could have done is help her get the money she needed for a ticket, even a small part of it. But no, she's an adult. She has to pay it all. Well, times have really changed since you were her age, and things aren't as easy for her as you might think. And you really don't know what you've lost either. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me. If you felt the same way about her, maybe you'll understand just what being a mother even means. Never contact her again, or trust me, you'll meet me in person sooner than you think." Then I blocked her number. She got a text from her cousin saying EM was absolutely appalled. But do I care? Of course not. And as for girlfriend, she saw what I wrote to her, and let's just say she feels a lot better. Even though she still feels heartbroken now that her mum hates her, and me too most likely. Well, her loss. It's sad to think what this situation would be had they not had the boyfriend that helped them. They would have felt absolutely alone. Not only had her father passed away just a few years ago, which would have been the most traumatic thing to happen in her life, then the whole rest of her family leave to an entirely different country. And when they want to see her for Christmas, they expect her to be the one to pay for it? And it's not like she was unwilling to pay for it either. She just literally didn't have the money. Honestly, if she did have the $1,000 to travel over there, it sounds like she would have had a terrible time and wouldn't have been worth the money. This story was called Entitled X Thinks He Can Run My House. So I'm 18 female, my ex 18 male, and he fits into this sub because he's a parent. In fact, it's to my child. So we basically had a kid together. Our son is a year old now and lives with me. Now my son has always lived with me, so I'm the one basically doing everything. I feed him, I lose sleep at night, I got puked and pooped on, I take him to his doctor appointments, you know, everything you need to do for a baby. Dad, on the other hand, stays home, gets high, goes to work, and repeat. This is when we lived in the same city, even though he only came by once, maybe twice a week to take care of baby, which was carrying him for 5 minutes until he got tired and put him down in his swing. Sometimes when baby will be napping, he would move a tiny bit to get comfortable, and he would think that he'd been waking up and scream, "Hi there, buddy, you're awake now!" That would tick me off because baby would cry, and if he couldn't calm him down in 15 seconds, he'd scream at me to do so. Now I moved to a different city about 3 months ago with the rest of my family, and of course I took baby with me. Dad hardly asked about him. No pictures, no phone calls, nothing for weeks. I'm not the type to beg him to talk to his son because, frankly, it's not my responsibility to make sure he and baby have a relationship. Now he came down a day before baby's birthday and stayed a couple of days. We let him stay in our house because he didn't have anywhere else to go. Now, my ex is a hard person to get along with. He wasn't like this before. We invited him with open arms, and we were nice, till he started acting entitled. I have 5 other siblings, 15 male, Leo, 12 female, Belle, 11 female Jane, 3 female Ali, 1 male Jean, 1 male Luca, this is my baby. X got along with them all. At first they would talk and play games with each other. Now, X doesn't like my baby brother very much. He thinks he's disrespectful and stupid because he would come up to you and hug your leg, or he'd want you to carry him. Yeah, because a 1-year-old knows a lot about respect. He hated when Jean would play with Luca because he thought he would be fighting with him. They both like playing with each other and just being with each other in general. X didn't want Jean to even touch Luca, so he would push Jean away and scream at him, and Jean would cry. I got annoyed at this, and so did everyone else. Now, anyone who knows kids, they wake up really early in the morning and start wreaking havoc. X would scream at the kids to shut the frick up, so I got up and played with them in another room. It's been 2 days in and we didn't want him there already. Now around this time I had a ton of pain in my jaw and had to get a tooth extracted. This is important for later. Even so, I had to work through it because, let's be real, a parent's job never ends. While X would sleep in until 12 or 1, we all clean the house every day. I do most of the work. Though one day before my extraction, I would get these terrible headaches and cried most of the day. So I didn't clean, I laid in bed and tried to sleep it off. Though X never knew how to properly take care of Luca, so he would wake me up and tell me to take care of it while he went outside to get high. The day of my extraction. It was at 9, so I woke up early and left around 8:20. Had everything done, now I was bloody with one tooth down. Then the text started pouring in. Where are you? Luca is crying, where's his food? Why did you leave Jean and Ali here? I can't take care of them. I told him where I was and it isn't his responsibility because others were there. Then I told him if he didn't like the kids, then he should just leave to his brother's house since he lived in the same city. He started saying things like, I've been trying to leave for the past 2 days. I've been texting him, he can't. Blah blah. Then I told him if he wanted to continue staying there, he was to not scream at my siblings and actually try and take care of Luca. He said he has the right to scream at them, that I can't kick him out. Then he started saying why I think I'm better than him. I'm not even lying. Why do you act like you're better than me when you're not? You don't even have a job. I told him I'm not acting better, that it may just be the confidence I have now and freedom from him. Once I got home, I was hurting. So I wanted to rest but couldn't since X was being a butt. I put baby to bed and napped with him for the 3 hours. Woke up because he was crying. And where was X? Outside, smoking a joint. I got mad, but whatever. I bit my tongue. We all fell asleep and the next morning was the worst. I woke up to my brother waking me up so I can give him water. I did, then went to bed. Baby woke up so I laid him down to change his diaper and Jean hovered over my baby, talking to him. X sprang up and pulled Jean by his shirt and started covering Luca. I was trying to change his diaper, so I told X, "Here, move." And he said, "You can say please, stupid B." I didn't want to deal with it this early in the morning. Gene went over to X and tried to hug his leg, and X screamed at him. "No, Gene, get off, disrespectful kid. For real, you'll never be like this, will you, Luca?" I snapped at him. "Are you freaking serious? He's a baby. He's just trying to hug your leg." "I don't give a frick what he's trying to do. I don't want him touching me." "Well then don't scream at him and call him an idiot. If you don't freaking like it, then leave." "No, I'm not leaving. You can't kick me out." "I don't care anymore. I'm so tired of you. You've been nothing but nasty and disrespectful. You scream at kids that aren't even yours, and to the one that is, you don't even take care of him." "I don't care. You can't make me leave." I got up, grabbed my baby, walked away while he screamed, "Give me my son." I told my siblings and we all decided to not talk to him. He left eventually, and I've never felt so relieved. He then texted me, "I hope you know I took pictures of the house the morning you were gone. I took pictures of all the dirty things, unwashed dishes, full trash, food left out, so you can't file child support because then I'll show them these pictures." I honestly couldn't believe it and told him, "I went to the dentist. You knew I was in a ton of pain. I couldn't move or think, so I didn't clean. You know the house is never like that. Why would you do that? Why would you take advantage of that?" He said it's because he didn't want to pay for child support and that's all. I never planned to because he doesn't make much money anyway, but just couldn't believe he did that. But yeah, that's the story behind my entitled ex-boyfriend. This story was called "Entitled Aunt Screams at Me and Tries to Assault Me Because I Didn't Let Her Child Use Creative on My Minecraft Server." Introduction. My aunt, wife of my father's brother, is entitled as, aside from other things like a thief and generally a bad person, and usually treats her 3 children as little angels. Luckily they are, mostly, not as entitled as she is. So it has a family gathering and some of our grandparents' friends were there too. It was held at my grandparents' house. They live in a big house complex, so it was a house with a very long hallway. There are 7 big rooms in that house. They own 3 of them. 2 are near the entrance of the house, and 1 is the literal ending of the hallway. I know, not practical. So EA, with you, her husband, has, believe me or not, forbidden her children exiting the 3rd room, the one on the end of the hallway. So some other children that were there, and me, then 12, are also chilling with them in that room. At that time, I heavily played Minecraft Pocket Edition on my phone. I had a survival world and basically did everything in that game without cheating or using creative. So I had basically put around 30-ish hours in that world. They just started playing Minecraft. So when I was playing in my world and they asked me if they could play with me, I said sure. Boy did I dig myself a grave. Around 5 minutes of playing, they asked me to put the world in the creative mode. I asked them why and they said the game was too difficult. Truth be told, it was on hard, but I just responded with them, nah. They started begging me. Our conversation went like this.
Please turn it on creative.
Yes, please.
If you want it on creative, make your own world. And C, nice cousin, the oldest of them. Yeah, if you want to play on creative, do it, but don't annoy us. They freaking literally started to set things on fire in my world. I quickly got up to them in game and killed them. They began to throw a tantrum. The entitled aunt heard their screams and rushed towards the room. Mind, she's a freaking beluga whale and she was slow. So she enters the room and asks,
Is someone hurting my angels?
Opie punched us. Yeah, and it hurts really bad.
Well, that's not what—
How dare you hurt my angels? Wait till your father hears about this. He will ground and beat you.
My father is a very chill guy, and he would probably ask me if it is the truth, and even if it was, he would probably just make me apologize. Anyways, back to the story. He did not.
Stop lying, I know.
Me, a little enraged now. Actually, I did not.
What did you then do?
Literally nothing.
You freaking liar. Get over here.
Tries to grab me. I dodge it. Me also shouting now. What the heck? Luckily my father just walked in. What's going on?
He punched AC1 and AC2.
No, I didn't. No, he didn't. My godfather's daughter, she was just observing till now. He didn't. Just leave my kid alone. EA just stomped out of the room. I looked with disgust at EC1 and 2 till the end of the gathering. Also, I flipped a middle finger at EA as she was leaving. Never mess with another man's woman. But more importantly, never mess with another man's Minecraft server. That's just one of those life lessons you don't want to break. Post your stories, memes, and fan art at r/VoiceyHere. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. Alright, Voicey veterans, I'll see you in the next one.